This way.
Where do you stand on active leads?
Nobody. Or everybody. But every time we get a letter, we get a new detail. Right now, we're trying to trace the Xerox machine he uses by signature marks on the paper edge and ink diffusion.
Sophisticated work.
I got 20-year street cops who know more about toner than the copy guy. Could be us spinning our wheels again. When we get to the station, you can see the letters.
Any of the crime scenes accessible?
All of them. They're still vacant, but we've combed through them pretty good over the years.
It really helps to put the photos in context, if you don't mind.
Might as well start at the beginning.
They had 5 kids in this house.
Retired military. Used to base housing.
She had double ligature marks.
Must have come to, so he had to do it again. We think that since it was his first try, he botched it. There was a chair here with deep carpet indentations.
With a psychic.
You consulted Uri Geller before the FBI.
We were grasping at anything. That poor guy got so freaked out, he was gone the second the sun came up. She moved the next day. Left everything behind. Furniture, everything.
He's clearing out the town.
He's got the whole city twitching like prey. He knew he left a witness. If he hadn't claimed 7, we would never have connected her. M.O.'s wrong. She was stabbed, Kevin was shot. But son of a bitch wants credit for every single one.
You know I've done undercover drug deals with less skullduggery than this.
He doesn't want to be seen talking to cops.
This our guy?
That's him.
Can't be $140 sopping wet.
He's lost a lot of weight. Nerve damage from the shooting. Remember to face forward.
Did he seem angry? Jumpy?
Just real matter of fact, but
She was clearly his primary interest.
Rest of the family's just collateral. So BTK changes his MO, and that's why he stabs the sister. There's no way our guy doesn't have a rap sheet.
White male, late 20s to early 30s, rap sheet, possible assault complaints.
High school education at best, has difficulty holding more than a menial job.
Kevin said he smelled clean.
He's christening himself for the media, like Zodiac or Berkowitz naming himself Son of Sam.
Berkowitz also courted the press. He wrote directly to Jimmy Breslin.
We need to at least consider that Berkowitz is a blitz killer.
This doesn't seem like your scene.
Holden brought me here.
Doesn't seem like Holden's scene.
I won't usually betray a confidence. But when Holden disappeared those 2 days, he went to see Kemper. Now, whatever happened during that visit precipitated...
Panic attacks.
You knew?
I had to retrieve his ass. I'm really sorry I didn't tell you. I thought the last thing we need is for Holden to have everyone walking on eggshells around him.
Quite frankly, Bill, this demands our attention.
He had an episode. Even the doctor said it feels worse than it is.
Panic attacks may not be brought on by anything real, but their effects are very real. And whether you think Holden deserves your sympathy or not, this could have serious consequences for us. And very real physiological consequences for him. Does Gunn know about this?
No. He's based his vision and his largesse on the Holden Ford miracle. I couldn't tell him Boy Wonder has the Vapours. We might not be worth salvaging.
So with this Berkowitz interview, you have got to take the lead. He's going to be walking in there in a heightened state, knowing that he's got one shot at the killer on the cover of Newsweek. He'll be anxious, vulnerable, and that could prime him for an episode.
The last time he was in the room with a serial killer, he ended up chained to a hospital bed. What do I do?
Be observant. Apart from the obvious physical cues, an attack can manifest dozens of ways. So if he seems manic or overly nervous, fragile...
Should I carry smelling salts?
It's not a joke. If you see one hint, you get him out of there. Whatever you feel about Holden's health, if he blows this with Berkowitz, Gunn will rethink his investment. And from now on, there needs to be transparency between us. Whatever's going on with him, we both know about it. It's a two-way street.
Deal.
These boys put you up to it, didn't they? Sadly, you were warming up the bat all by yourself tonight. I play for the other team.
She's bent. So a Christen good shoot.
Well, I'd watch that pillow fight.
Same time?
You held an entire city in thrall.
Is he shooting me?
It's a complete ripoff.
That's what we think.
Well, I was illegitimate. Possession isn't just what you see on the outside.
I'm curious, you had this history of demonic voices, psychotic episodes. Why not plead not guilty by reason of insanity? Why plead guilty and never get a trial where you could explain your demons?
Because I am not insane. I can't pretend to be insane.
He makes any proceeds off the book, right? The guy with your life rights?
Like I said, it's a legal dispute.
It's a crock, isn't it?
I'm very suggestible.
Did you want to hear voices?
His own narcissism forces him to admit that the demons were fabricated.
The thought of someone else profiting from his fame was unbearable.
Your instincts were right. A schizophrenic wouldn't be able to turn the voices on and off.
Crazed killer or possessed? What's the difference?
He can't tolerate his image tarnished by insanity. The demons make him special. A warrior battling insurmountable evil. Crazy's just weak. You know what's really surprising is that despite appearances, his crimes are psychosexually
He
motivated.
kept making the point that his sexual fantasies were separate from the violence. He did not want his gun mistaken for his penis.
He did choose a 44.
That goes back to public image conflicting with self-image. Sex offenders are perverts. He's a tormented genius. And when the media got that wrong, he corrected the narrative.
So is he getting off on publicity more than the killings?
It's both. The killings were foreplay, but he was just as concerned with how he was perceived. You're naming himself, communicating with the media. It all adds up to control. And Berkowitz can't control how women treat him or how he fits into his family, so he creates this monstrous persona, but really is just a dumpy, awkward mailman.
If we go by what Berkowitz said, BTK trolls every night. No one could hold down a real job, have a family, hunt, visit their crime scenes. He's got a menial job at best.
And no real relationships.
Certainly not with women.
Based on Berkowitz, we're gonna have to open up an entire new category. We've been looking at whether killers follow their stories in the media, like Kemper did, but now we have to consider how they use the media to create their own mythologies.
So Berkowitz, what is he?
He's not schizophrenic. Does virtually no pre-planning, has an absurd supernatural explanation if caught, and there are definite sexual components to his crimes.
Organized or disorganized? Does he get a promotion now that he's not talking to dogs?
Overall, I'd say he's more organized than not.
Who'd have thunk?
I've just come from notifying next of kin. Who has access to or has recently entered the premises? We have a lot of latent evidence, so we need to eliminate her. I'm so sorry to have barged in on your evening.
Not a problem. Let me know if I can do anything.